Y'all said, what do you think about X reinstating Alex Jones? To be honest, I'm not going to pretend like I'm a super a fan of Alex Jones, to be honest, right? But what I am a fan of is freedom of speech and people being able to state their opinions without like a bunch of social media platforms having a private meeting and just going, this person's not allowed. That sounds crazy to me and scary. It sounds scary. Now I'm small fry, right? I'm small fry. I'm a little guy, right? So I don't think they're gonna do that for me anytime soon, right? But to know that anyone has the power to do that is crazy. Now, has he said some things that has been crazy? Sure, 100%. And I think that he should handle and deal with those things on a case by case basis. But to be banned, it's crazy. It's crazy. So if you ask me how I feel about him being unbanned, I think that's dope. I don't think no one should be banned unless they are literally causing blatant harm or attempting to. EDP, I'm talking to you. Show nasty ass. EDP is filthy. I don't care if he gets banned. Okay, EDP get banned. Guess what? I ain't gonna shed no tears. I'm over here looking like a dark Sith Lord right now in my luxurious robe, huh? In my luxurious robe. EDP could never. Right? I don't know if Alex Jones, but I don't know what kind of robe he wear. I figure some kind of like purple drink with like pink sparkles all over the collar, like Ric Flair that he wears secretly. And got like different pictures of UFO sightings on the back of it. Anyway, I digress, fam. I'm not like a super fan, but I'm not against him being unbanned, right? At least from my point of view, I didn't see him say or do anything that was actually causing, and I mean like blatantly causing harm. I could give you a list of people that needed their stuff 86th, fam. What about that YouTuber that was asking his fans to send him videos, pop, lock, and dropping it? And that's the PG-13 version of me saying it. Get that nigga up out of here. EDP, you go too. You go too. J Station was out here wilding for quite some time. Don't feel bad about him getting 86. Not at all. Not at all. Man, his content at one point was breaking into the houses. Buildings, correction. Buildings. Like, yeah, nah. But other than that, right? Yeah, nah. Not with people just getting banned for words. He's punished for the things he said through legal litigation. Yeah, nah, I don't agree with that. You think freedom of speech equals freedom of what did he say that was that though? What exactly? Maybe I don't know, but what did he say using words that was abuse? Did he physically go after somebody? Because if you think that I'm along the lines of words being abuse, you out your mind. Right? It would take something to be said crazy for me to ever go words was abuse. Right? Maybe I just brought up different. They're like, I swear, if people that thought words was abuse grew up in the South Bronx when I was a child, you wouldn't have been able to live there. You would have moved like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Words is abuse. It was literally shoving niggas in lockers and then trash cans and rolling us down the hill. I remember Freshman Friday, right? So words, you think words was abuse? They used to go crazy with the words, nigga. What? And that wasn't even just the kids. The damn teachers was frying our ass up with the words, man. And the teacher's name is Nesbitt. Made a kid cry. Just getting them, frying them up, roasting them. So yeah, like, I don't know. What did he say that was like actual, like, when you use words like that, I'm thinking like he physically tried to do some harm. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me, right? And maybe I'm just not aware. He was denying. That's not abuse. That's not abuse. It could be crappy. We could all disagree. We could think maybe it's even delusional. But how was words abuse? That's crazy. I can't get behind that. I can't get behind that. I can't get behind words being no. Hell no. I've had people say worse. I've had people say way worse to me, bro. Way worse to me. So I can't get behind words being abused. That sounds crazy to me. Even when you, hold on, let me see. It's nothing that you're gonna say that's gonna get me to say that words was abused. If you want to call in and maybe say your drink, if it makes it easier than like typing, then cool. Because I want to start another segment after this. But I don't mind just hearing you out. But I don't know how words can be abused. That just sounds crazy. Freedom isn't free. I hear you. I hear you. Damn, that's horrible. Alex did that. I'm a yes. And mind you, that's not me disagreeing if it's horrible, if it's a messed up act, if it's crappy, if it's a like horrible thing to say, if it's jacked. I'm not arguing that at all. What I'm arguing is that words can equate to abuse. Just to me. I'm only talking about from my personal just I guess what do you want to call it, boundaries or limits or whatever, right? But to me, I think it's pretty intense to say words were abuse, no matter how much I disagree with it. Okay, hold on. We got a caller. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
No, words. Okay, so if his words then resulted in his followers, right, his supporters, then going forward and actually harassing these families and physically through threats, just actual harassment, then I think that is abusive, because I feel like Alex has an obligation of a responsibility of what he says, being that he's like a media conglomerate. And so if he's putting out this narrative that a tragic, horrible event like that didn't happen, that these children didn't even exist, and that narrative then encouraged people to take it a step further beyond just words, then I do feel he has a responsibility to be accurate, or at least, responsible in what he's saying.
People might have heard what he said and took it to mean something else, because people do that all the time, right? When it comes to responsibility of what's being said, he's not directly telling people to do anything, right? Maybe we disagree with the things that's being said, but I think that's a really far reach for abuse. And also, if you're saying that his fans or people that's hearing his message are the ones abusing, then how is he the abuser? That doesn't make sense. For his words, that still would make no sense, because it wouldn't be him doing it.
He's not necessarily not encouraging it, right? So it's not like he's saying don't do that. He does encourage people to be proactive and to get out there, and you know what I mean. I don't know. Alex Jones
is a direct question after you finish. I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, Alex Jones is. This is why I asked you this, because it's a very slippery slope with him. I was just curious kind of what you thought, because I agree people should have free speech. I agree people should have the ability to state their opinions. But where does that line get drawn, right? Like, how far are we allowed do we allow that to go? And I think when your speech is inciting hate towards victims of violent crimes, that's where we need to, morally and as a society say no. Imagine this. Your child goes to school one day and then they don't come home ever again. You have a person with a huge platform like Alex Jones going out there and saying that did not happen. It didn't.
Okay.
Your child didn't even exist. You're a traitor to the country. You're a, you know,
All
government
right.
crisis actor. Your trauma and tragedy and loss never happened, and you're hosting all these uh, other people who support this idea, who are claiming to have expertise in certain areas of um, school education and safety and all these things, and you're supporting these points you're making with lies and things that have been debunked. And this winds up drawing up a huge crowd of people who therefore further this notion that your baby, your child, never even existed, that you're some sort of, you know, person involved in crisis acting and things. And then you have the fringe who take that a step further, threaten your life, your family, your kids who are still alive. I don't know. I just think that there's a level of account. Now, mind you,
I thought
though,
this was a question. No, I swore you was asking me a question.
I was.
You
So
said
that's
that.
where.
You
So
just
my
wanted
question
to.
is, where do we draw that line? Now, but the caveat to this is that he was sued for these statements, and he did lose, and he is now, the payout to these families is massive. So is it a matter of the social media responsibility to handle this, or the individual to handle it through litigation personally? You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's tricky.
All right. So overall, still, and everything that you described and had me imagine, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't sound like he incited or encouraged any kind of act of violence at all, right? It sounded like maybe he said something crazy, something he said something maybe even stupid, something that
Right.
we could disagree with, but to go as far as to say that he's an abuser and then connect that to him saying that he incited or encouraged, and he blatantly did not do that. He might have just said something crazy. That's too much responsibility being put on someone for giving their opinions and not on the
Mm-hmm.
actual person that's doing something. Like, at what
Mm-hmm.
point do we become adults and have to become responsible for our own actions? You telling me a radio host can say an opinion and you go, oh, then I have to do this? That sounds insane to me. In fact, the only people that we hear say stuff like that is the ones that put it in manifestos, and they're fucking insane. Like, they're blatantly
I could show
crazy.
example. I could show examples. It's hard to conceptualize it verbally. You know what I mean? What he actually did. And look, I don't necessarily agree with people being canceled off of platforms either. I do think it's a you know, it becomes complicated when you have companies like X or YouTube even, or anything where, you know, their main goal is to avoid being sued, right? They don't want to wind up being in some sort of situation where they're uh,
That's
responsible for the words of their
a different
users.
argument. Now you're
Hmm?
making a different argument. You was first speaking morally. Now we're speaking business now.
Well,
That's a whole different argument.
that's the problem here. This is where it becomes such
Is
a
it moral or
slippery.
business? Which one? You made an argument
That's
for
just
moral. Now it's business. Which you got to pick?
that's the problem, though. You see, or is it our freedom? Is it our right? See, it's like this multifaceted situation here, where it's like, morally, is it okay? Business wise, is it smart? And um, given our rights, but a private company doesn't have to honor our freedom of speech, right?
You
That's
don't.
kind of a moot point. So take that
Yeah.
one out. But yeah, it's kind of complicated. I don't know. It was something that happened recently. I was just kind of curious to your opinion on it.
Well, morally, we can say that it's right or wrong. I think that it is crazy if he did blatantly lie, and yeah, that's wild. But I don't think that's him inciting or encouraging people to act out and do certain things. I think that's his stretch, right? It could just be him saying something stupid, right? That don't encourage people to do stupid stuff, right? And as far as us as content creators having, I guess, a responsibility, I think that that's a slippery slope too, because just because someone listens to me doesn't mean I'm responsible for every action that they take. Like,
No, of
that
course
sounds a
not.
little over the top, right?
Right.
But
No,
some
of course
people
not.
might say that my opinions on certain things might have been wild. If they go and do something insane, right? That is not on them. Like, that's like saying, because someone listens to Red Pill, if they went out and did the Ike Turner, right? If you know, you know, right? It's the podcaster's fault for inciting it. And
Or
it's
it's
like,
like blaming, or like blaming violent video games on,
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I agree with you there. I could have shown better examples of this, but I wasn't prepared to, So, but no, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I do. But anyways, I'll let you move on with what you're doing. Hey, I like these topics you're doing, though. This is a nice detour away from drama and stuff. I used to cover topics like this, and I think it's good.
That's cool, bro. I appreciate that. Oh, did it? It sounded like it got disconnected and then connected again.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if it's you or me, but anyways, I like these topics. So thanks for having me.
Thank you. No problem at all.
Okay, I'm going to drop back down to chat.
Cool beans. There you go. All right, we about to get into the next topic. And they say I only like an echo chamber. Yo, that's why I took that so offensive when I heard someone say that. Like, I'm not the guy that's going to drop the link and just have a friendly conversation, right? My only thing is I match energy. If it gets cranked up to a level, I'm going to match it. But if we're both like peaceful and just going back and forth, we could disagree until our heart is content, right? Until our faces are blue. There's no issue. I'm never going to be someone that wants everyone to just agree with me automatically. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's why I have, like, when people say that I like an echo chamber, that sounds crazy to me. Like, nigga, I'm missed the discussion. Some people say I discuss too much. Some people try to dictate who I should talk to. Like, and I'm willing to talk to or discuss shit with everybody. But that's one of the reasons why I think Alex Jones shouldn't really be banned. Is I think that people should have the freedom to challenge him. You know what I mean? How can we challenge him if he's banned? We got to have the freedom to be able to, like, call people out and go back and forth, bro. Me personally, even if I disagree with somebody, I like for them to be able to have their opinion because it gives me the opportunity to share my opinion. I'm not we all have to think the same in unison kind of guy. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed watching the video. Now, if you have some extra time, can you do me a favor? Check out my music. I rap, I sing, and I make beats. All of that should be linked in the description. Also, if you want to watch me live stream, you can check me out on bxbeastboy Live. That's another YouTube channel. It should be linked to my homepage. And you can check me out on Twitch and Rumble. I'm streaming on all these platforms, man. Trying to just get out there. Also, if you want to support me, you can sign up for my memberships on my channel, as well as my Patreon for as low as $1. You get exclusive access to a bunch of videos early before you even get it on YouTube, as well as videos that's not ever going to be on YouTube. Stuff that actually got me suspended and banned. It's kind of my anti-cancel culture fund for BX Beast Boy. You know what I mean? And it also helps me get resources for certain video essays and things of that nature. Check that out if you're able to. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and join my Discord if you are able to, man. The link should be somewhere within my description or somewhere on my channel. I would really love to see you there, man. That's where you get a chance to talk to me and the rest of my supporters, man. I appreciate you guys. Bang, gang, out.